here.
And I'm happy there's a lady here, you know.
Yes, I know Doreen will be happy.
So happy. And I
Yeah.
hope next week a lady will join again.
And I'm happy, yes, there is a lady in the studio as well. Because we love ladies, right?
Yes, you have to.
The song in the background.
Yeah.
No, you are a poet, you're a writer, and you've released a musical piece that has poetry in it.
Say outrightly that this is the singing is not done by me. So for those going, oh, she actually sings really well, that is Nancy's voice you're hearing in there. But I co-wrote some parts of it and executive produced it. This is a song written. Yes, he did.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
But I hope you learned a lot of lessons from him while
A truckload of those, and so it's always a blessing to glean from those words.
Poetry.
I think that journey will date. Even before I dive into it, I think it helps to say a very good morning to all your listeners, because I've had a few people texting me saying, well, good morning to all your listeners. And I want to say thank you for having me in studios. But the journey to writing poetry has been a very interesting one for me. I didn't exactly come at poetry like everyone else did, and so I am a visual artist by education and grew up.
Should respect visual artists, you know.
One for the culture. So visual artist by education.
I'm a visual artist too.
You know, so it's creativity all around, and I actually majored in jewelry in school. So my major is I'm a silversmith. Actually.
Emma,
So
when you are done, we'll continue from here.
we'll definitely have that conversation. So I did grow up not exactly the TD Jakes. I would read the Malcolm Gladwell's. I would read the other books that are not, but they are literature in their own right. In that those forms of writing taught me something about how language comes alive and how we're able to speak a word and have people move in a certain direction. So I kind of got my right, but also doing visual arts gave me a sense of how to juxtapose worlds and how to put how to create a certain realm that you would want people to feel and experience something about. And so I come at poetry with these influences, and I would actively start writing somewhere in 2009. And then later on, hide behind the scenes of poetry. So I would be your curator who is putting up a show and putting poets on, or I would be the one behind the scenes encouraging someone to put their work out, but never being the one in front of the microphone on the stages doing any form of poetry. And it's fairly recently that I took on poetry fully as a commercial venture and as something that I am doing, and now poetry is like my bread and butter. That makes the thing. So it's been quite the journey.
Are you serious?
Woo! But how was the journey, transitioning from the person who was behind the scene now coming on stage to do it? I would have loved to see your first day on stage, but I mean, how was the transitioning like for you?
I don't know that it was anything drastic. I think that it kind of was a given, because if you saw me in most of these spaces, you would think that I was one of the writers. And curation in itself comes with a sense of knowing about the craft So I think from that part, the transition wasn't really as complicated as would have it be, but it's been a smooth ride. I think my very major stage was a Joy FM stage.
Really?
The event there about
I'm trying
16,
to
17 there, but that was like my first major stage doing poetry, and then it was great. I still remember what I was wearing that day.
How was the feeling like?
It was surreal. In that, I mean, I had done freestyle poetry on many stages, but amongst peers. So a platform that is not just limited to the people around you, but also on the airwaves. It puts a certain it's a gift, and it's there, and it just needed more room to be worked on. And I think it's.
We can now ask you to. Is it difficult? Is poetry difficult?
I think poetry, like anything, requires like any discipline of taking that particular thing and seeking to polish it. It can be anything, it can be cooking, and you can be gifted. If you're a presenter and you've never been, your first day is really going to be met with jitters. And so put the spirit for it, because the message you are made to carry will not have to be altered regardless of what form you take. You would have to morph into the message that you convey to people, and that requires a certain level of discipline to say, I am representing the truth and there's integrity to what I'm saying. And so my life reflects this, my encounters reflect this, but otherwise I am doing just interesting.
So after the first Joy FM performance, I know you've had a number of other stage performances. Can you name some
We
of them?
like to know.
Some of them, how many hours do we have on the show? Quite a lot. And I have been privileged to work with a lot of the corporates.
Corporate world, yeah.
And in this part, segmented them. And so we did like all clusters, but trying to touch on all the regions. And I did that tour with them. And that was exciting, because that is saying, and that was a beautiful encounter. And then I have been to Lagos to do World Poetry Day with Wole Soyinka. Did Europe and done performances with Berlin quite often. And a lot. I think I've done multimedia a lot. I've done Springboard a couple of times. A whole lot of performances.
What themes do your works tackle?
I write, primarily from a place of being a woman. And so I would touch on womanhood, but I also write about really life and living it. So loss, love, I would write about silence, I would write about surrender, I would write about social issues that confront us daily. If it upsets you, chances are we've caught it somewhere in the spirit. So I would definitely find a way to channel it. But if the way I write for page is very different from how I come up on stage, because when I'm on stage, my themes are heavily influenced by the audience, because they dictate on the fly. So when I'm on stage, the themes are dictated by the people in the audience. But when I sit to write, I really sit to write what upsets me, what excites me, and what I feel needs to be given a voice, the things that we are otherwise told to be quiet.
With the crowd, have you ever gone on stage and gotten blank before?
I am yet to have that experience. I would, and I think that is in itself a blessing. I say that.
You all say this, and you say it's a blessing.
So I haven't exactly been blank on stage before. The blessing. I think that what I have learned to do is to feed the source, right? Is to make sure I'm always plugged in, because I know that the moment I plug out is when I'm standing there by myself and having to figure out what to say. And so staying plugged in is my way to always have to stay. I always have to stay alert. So what I'm beginning to do a lot more now is, if I don't feel like I'm in the right headspace, I don't take a stage. I will tell you, I think towards the end of last quarter, we had to have a show, and I tried to make it for the show, but I just couldn't, because at that point,
do something with plugged in. Keep plugged in. Keep plugged in. I took this phrase from your own statement. Keep plugged.
You would have to thriller math and science.
Dorian, let's
so
give
something very random. It could be a color. It could be an object. It could be a number. It could be anything.
It could be Hitz FM.
Okay,
Hitz FM.
Hitz FM.
Okay.
Let me see.
The Ghanaian woman.
That's a whole sentence, Kwame.
Yeah, but
We'll
just do Ghanaian.
Okay, Ghanaian.
Okay, Ghanaian. It will be easy. It will be easy for
so complicate it. Complicate it if you choose
Let me give you the number.
give her a number.
I'll use my date of birth, the number 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you 16.
All right.
Wow.
So we're doing We're doing 16. We're doing Plugged In. And we're doing what? Hitz FM.
Hitz FM. Is that enough?
Yeah.
It's enough? Wow.
It works.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. This is weird. I kind of followed the structure of the show, and I kind of thought the performance was somewhere in the end.
All right.
So okay, so we're doing Plugged In,
Yeah.
we're doing Hitz FM, and we're doing 16.
Yes.
There are many ways to kill a cat. They are yet to recount how these cats are killed. There are many lives to a cat. Some attribute the number 9 to it. I'm yet to 16. It's a culmination of two numbers that, when split apart, become whole entities on their own. Take an 8. Take another 8. These are numbers that signify almost near the beginnings. Begins its turn when the moon comes up bright. The number 8 is beckoning us to say it's almost approaching the 9th. A life is about to be birthed. A new hit is about to be born. A new song is about to be played. A new story is about to unfold. Hold on to the number 16. Stay plugged into the story that this life will tell. Do not keep your eyes off the goal. The goal is that every life will live a full purpose until it has ended. The goal is the space between a life being born and a life stories that live on end. This hits FM 103.9 channel stories of people who do not know yet that their story has begun or is ending. And when every song hits a higher crescendo, we know it's about to descend. And so stay plugged in to your own story. Stay plugged in to the story of those. Every number is a story that ties closely to your own unfolding. Are you plugged in?
Yep.
Listeners, I believe you all agree that we should end the show, because this is how we end the show.
This is extempore. This is right on spot. Like,
What? Emma!
off the cuff. Like, Emma Ofosua.
My very important.
Oh.
Emma. Unimanka okachanka mitokoko si ho.
Enkecho, you to me aja.
Now, when anybody asks what is poetry,
Yes.
poetry is Emma Ofosua.
Yes, this is it.
This is an hour moment.
This is so beautiful.
Wow.
Thank you.
And this is just something, so you can imagine when she's on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, Emma, you have did
I
it
don't
all.
even know.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
And apart from this, apart from you doing a performance poetry, you do page poetry, you write.
Yes, I do.
You write. Have you published some poems, some stories, as in maybe prose or any other work of art?
Of my poetry published, and so that is everywhere you can buy. Everywhere you buy your books, you can find this book on Amazon. This poetry through and through.
Wow.
I'm also in the process of working on another collection, and so yes, I have published and
I
store.
wish you courage in the night season.
Yeah.
I see.
Buy it for a woman.
Buy it for
Guys,
everybody.
Yes.
This is the reason production decided that we should do other forms of arts to unearth more talent, to project them, to amplify their brands and all that. And it's a reason we're doing poetry this month. Started last week with Nana Sase. Today is Emma Ofosua. Emma Ofosua is an amazing talent when it comes to poetry, literary arts, if you ask me. And today we're having a conversation on poetry. Yeah. You spoke about women early on. I know there is a program called, is it All African Women
Poetry
Festival?
Festival.
Who is behind that?
I am.
You are.
Oh, you are.
Yes, I am.
Tell us more about it.
It happens
Okay.
annually in May in Ghana, and we've done an edition in Kenya. I think that became eminent when I realized that we're not building women footnotes, and so we don't exactly name them for the work and the contributions to development, to anything. They did all that they had to do with the background,
supported.
and still they remain footnotes. So the goal of the All African Women Poetry Festival then became to on cover, if you'd have it, the works of these women literary legends on whose shoulders we stand. And we've been able to do that for we started in 2023, and then we've been.
Why did you decide to do an African thing? Why did you not just do Ghana? Even with Africa.
I would say that ambition was fueled by Rhyme Sonny.
Oh, Rhyme Sonny.
Rhyme Sonny.
Shout out to
Okay.
Rhyme Sonny. We do to make sure that women's stories are told, and obviously it was like, okay, let's start with Ghana, and as I find these people, and how am I going to go to them? But I think the beautiful thing about and the doors begin to open up.
Wow.
And so on the back of that, I couldn't have dreamt it up to say would hold an edition in Kenya. It was these people. So I think that it's not the easiest of burdens to carry, but it's for Professor A.C. Sutherland, the likes of women who have really just held me together. Like, they've guided me in a way that makes it impossible to fall apart. And so
That's
plus 10 years funding too. I mean, it's not been like funding that covers every little thing, but it's enough to say, if I had to shoulder 100%, I don't have to shoulder 100% of it. We've had multimedia on some of our editions, just making sure that our broadcast reaches quite a number of people. And I think every time we've had it, we have to get the work done. Yeah.
Is poetry lucrative?
I think I would say I am fortunate. Add that it's not that because you can simply write that it becomes lucrative. You would have to. This is a decade in the making. I didn't start today. This is consistent commitment to improving the craft. This is constantly building relationship without thinking I'm good in that sense. But it's like, it's so in like Janie Pahoka, and let not your kindness be a strategy.
Yeah.
I think I knew Kwame before I knew I would even need to get interviews on any stage. I had connected and just decided to, be nice at paying, but it is the holistic self-development of the individual honing in on the craft that pays off. And for every gig, every platform I have been on, it's been fueled by relationship. For in that room and said I deserved to be there. And when I got there, I didn't let them down. And so they kept calling me back. So the craft in itself as a raw talent is not. And I would come back to journalism because you can be good at talking,
Yes.
but it doesn't mean someone is going to pay you to just other craft. The lucrative nature of it comes with value addition over time.
All right. Do you do it full time, or you have other things you do on the side?
Full time.
Full time.
Yes.
She also writes other.
My works, publishing my book, selling, but also added along the way.
If you were to assess how viable the poetry,
I think that when we look at the creative arts on a broader spectrum, we tend to only focus on those who are in the spotlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there are many things in the value chain of that said craft. Take music.
Okay.
They're producers, they are publicists, they are marketers,
Exactly.
they are designers, someone making sure that this is done well instrumentally, it sounds great. And so poetry, in that same sense, we need to put a lot of work in developing that work. Usually you would find that most poets are being soul managers. They are writing and they are promoting themselves. They are, and I had to do that with my book. I literally wrote the book, managed it, promoted it, bookshops outside of Ghana and in all the bookshops in Ghana. And so the conversation of how lucrative or viable it is in Ghana, I think that then if we put in the work to build the value chain, it does. And that is why I am so passionate about the work that I am doing with the All African Women Poetry Festival, because it is not only a platform to give voice to their stories, but it is creating the institution that supports this particular craft and helping them put together things like PR kits, helping them be marketed on a scale that makes them appealing to the global market. And everybody that has come through the stage has somehow had an international gig or an international exposure or
Yeah.
something beyond it, because of how the necessity of the work we need to do in this space. So what I am doing what the team and I are doing with this festival is really not just to put off an event, but on a scale I can't exactly put it on a scale right now. I'm just saying there's a lot of work to be done.
All right.
We need the likes of you in the space who is saying all you need to do is to sit and write. I would make it my business to push this out there.
All right.
We need a Mr. Hagler to say you're filling in the chain. Otherwise, it's a sinking.
Now I'm looking at you as a poet. I mean, you doing this festival and all that. How is your relationship like with your colleagues? I like to know because obviously, Ken, you are doing everything you're doing. Obviously, one or two people need to support so that when it gets to their turn, that support will also go back to them and all that. So of how you all can push your works out there?
Yeah, I think it's a really beautiful bond between at least the people I've been privileged to encounter, the likes of Nana Sase, the likes of Poetra, Santoa, Apioko, 100% Rhyme Sonny, Chief Moomin. We connect on different levels, on a very personal, individual level, but also on the very organized front. There is an association. It just it's still in the works because poets are an interesting crop. But yeah, it's still in the works. But yeah, I think that we're getting there with organizing and rallying a team of poets together to make sure that we represent on a national level, but individually on.
Beautiful piece of work here. Let's take a listen.
I make
She is a poet. She is also a writer. Yeah, and we're having a conversation today as part of our series on poetry for this month. Okay, let's talk about something I asked Nana Sase last week.
I hope it's not what you're coming to ask, but ask your question.
No, not that one. No, I saw that disclaimer.
You saw my
I think you said we shouldn't ask that question.
Okay.
No, we're not asking. Okay. This is about various forms of arts disciplines coming together. And it's so beautiful. We listened to the work you did, the one we played early on.
Right.
You know, the music, the poetry. I've been asking, why aren't a lot of you going all out to produce EPs and albums? I know some of you are doing that, but why haven't you taken that seriously, of melody to it, so that it softens, the hard stuff in the in the delivery? Emma, do you have an EP? Do you have a musical work, as in an anthology of work?
It's recorded. It's just not out yet.
Why?
It's just that would probably be my level of perfectionism and just wanting my first audio output to be. That's it. But I think that, again, pivoting on what I had just said in the last conversation that we're having.
Yeah.
It's a whole chain.
Mm-hmm.
And so if the writer does not know who to contact to help them with the best sound,
Okay.
they would not be confident enough to put out their work. And if you're standing alone and you're not certain who to reach for what, where do I go to have my piece is recorded, where do I go to have the polished outlook that I want? Where do I go to make sure that, or who do I talk to make sure that this body of work that I'm putting out meets all the standards that there are to be met? There really aren't any. We make the standards, but also there's a global level to be hit. So we need to see more EPs. Reach out to the writers who you think should put out EPs and make sure that they put it out. Because we need the support, and I'm not even going to front on that. It's difficult as it is, just digging. Poetry, it's a soul journey, and this person has done all there is to shed off this work. I have birthed this, now I need to see it come to life. And so that is why it will be difficult. I think for me, it's just really wanting to make sure that it's overly perfect, and there's nothing like that. So I probably would. I just don't know when.
I'm imagining Emma Ofosua featuring Efia. Emma Ofosua featuring Akwabwa. Oh, who else?
Patapa.
Yes, featuring Patapa. Featuring Kwabena.
No, just after the poetry now, was gonna get in Tenka. Some bars drop for the Charlie there,
No, Emma.
It's possible.
We have another amazing talent in poetry here today.
I think Robert is in shock.
Yo.
I was looking forward to seeing the person.
That is him.
That's him.
Poetic Adam.
Yeah, Poetic Adam.
Charlie, Emma is an amazing personality. She's been at this for God knows how long. And, transitioning from being employed to being unemployed willingly, just to be able to, pursue the path of passion and, the uncharted waters, more or less, or path. It's been one of those tough ones, but I think that she's done extremely well. And they say when you follow your blaze, doors open, because then it's in a path of destiny. And sometimes you can't see it, you just see the stairs, you don't see the entire stair, or the essence of faith. No, I have to tune in.
Yeah, plug in.
I have to plug in. We've gone beyond 16. You know what I mean. So essentially, I just want to say we did a project in Takoradi with Talo, and she delivered. She literally drove to Takoradi just for that particular project.
Wow.
And she delivered so well, and Charlie, thereafter I'm like, this is a chick. She did from rough, but she's been at her book. I think I was even at the book reading session and all of that. So she's been at this for long. I like the fact that she's clearly outlined the fact that we need to develop the value chain in order for people who in other words, when people have a particular skill or talent, the cycle, should I say the economic cycle of the country you are in, because we're in a developing country, which we, because then if you don't, then who is going to do it for the people who are coming? So you are on the right path, and your story is a great one that will certainly inspire a lot of people. I just want you to, at this point, probably begin to think of your talent from
very articulate.
Good, because you are delivering. No, but the thing is, you may position yourself as a poet and fail to position or preamble to.
Shameless plug. Book me for your next event. MC.
You are an editor. The poetic angles, but the fact that you have a message, you understand, and you are an art can listen to in the morning.
Okay.
Something I can listen to in the afternoon. Something I can listen to in the evening, because you can put, like, I can literally listen to a session from you based on how it's done afternoon, or even when I'm down. What should I listen to? You can have something for me to hear.
Yeah.
When I'm happy, it's dished out for every occasion or every mood, so to say, and it becomes something that supports but you could be a voice championing a particular project.
Are you volunteering as a publicist? Because we
had the meeting. Yeah. So all I'm saying is there are many ways you can apply that particular talent. You are an orator, so you don't have to limit yourself to the poetic angle. You can translate whatever you have into many fields, and I think once you do that, it enables
Mr. Robert Clark.
2 cents.
There is a message from a big man in the industry.
They are marketing, I know.
Get them. Let me give you 2 words for you to play with.
Money pressure.
What I was going to say was about that collaboration, because it helps. I mean, you tap into their audience, and they also tap into yours, and it's like you move into other areas which are not your normal comfort territory. So it has a way of putting a certain spotlight on you, musicians and others he's talking about. And I'm sure even some of the music in the crowd, spreadsheet be beating me up.
Oh, yes. And
you can put some of these things on. But marketing wise, like Robert was saying, some solid communication tools around him.
Sure.
So you need.
Good morning to you and the Navarongo chick. I'll say, and this is coming from one of the veteran broadcasters we have at Multimedia, Mr. Around. Hey, that's a guy, the great man around.
But he's a guy.
Oh, yeah, guy.
What's the rough from there, crowd being?
Oh, man. How do you say that in English?
Remove your ear inside.
Remove your ear inside.
Pay attention.
But isn't that what you said?
For the sake of the medium we're using,
Yeah.
I'm going to try and read it to you.
Okay.
It's titled Bloody Mess. The piece called Citizen, and so this kind of mimics that form and structure, but yeah. The palm fronts humble. They will say you should have been more careful. Reset why they aren't dancing. It's important. The wound is always yours to carry. It doesn't require permission from men who've forgotten how to dream. They are miners of misfortune. You can hear them sharpening their tools when something good happens to you. The sound of a will is profit. Your breakdown. We light candles. We write tribute. Potential is only praised after it has perished. This is the national they've named the sky. The bureaucrat worked since 2015. She will tell you, come back tomorrow. Tomorrow she will say the same thing. This is the system. Red tape that looks like care to produce genius from nothing. To crawl first, then somehow fly. No buffers, no blueprints, just the myth of meritocracy in a place where no surname, where you're disguised as opportunity. Maybe the restraint how we keep you beneath us. Maybe the gatekeepers don't want evolution. They want the familiar tyranny of boldly, too freely, or speak too clearly. You remind them of their own smallness, and that cannot be allowed. So, they will mold you into palatable versions of yourself and call it patriotism. Stand for the next crop of dreamers. You just want air, space, systems that work, a fair fighting chance to become something uninterrupted, but understand they never wanted you to fly. They wanted you to believe that flying was possible. Appointment lifts in your shoulders, the rage in your jaw, the exhaustion behind your eyes. When people ask, how are you? Too heavy for casual conversation. My countrymen are architects of despair disguised as patriots. And still you wake up. Survival looks like here. This is what they've made of hope. Make this bloody...
Emma, how many minutes? Like 40 minutes already. Wow, amazing.
Turn it back. Poetry is viable. It's the cell of every art form some way, somehow leans. As I said it last week, poets are one of the brilliant minds we can have, but we always tend to box them. And so we call me later. But yeah, patronize poets. Puts them on bigger platforms. Also because when you do, their values, I want you to know that poetry is simply giving language to our shared common human experiences.
Very much, Emma Ofosua.
The sign out self is poetic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Commander.
And on this day, if Kwame would